Delhi and large parts of North India woke up to a horrific smog today. Air pollution levels soared and in places visibility plunged to zero, affecting dozens of flights. At least 10 aircraft bound for Delhi had to divert. What caused the horrific pollution over Delhi today? Fog usually doesn't happen in the national capital region just yet. It happens towards the end of the year. Why is it happening now all of a sudden?
No sight or breath. Delhi faces a double whammy as it faces its first dense fog of the season. With wind speed early in the morning only at 5 km per hour, the conditions in the capital are dire for both residents as well as flyers. At least 10 flights to Delhi were diverted today due to almost zero visibility, of which 5 Air India flights were diverted, though they did fly back to Delhi once the visibility improved. Aviation sources say the plunging visibility levels in mid-November are entirely unexpected. Flights from Delhi were departing with an average delay of 30 minutes today. At least 2 flights were also cancelled. Delhi woke up to an air quality index in the very poor category for the 15th consecutive day today, ranging between 350 and 380 levels. That's several times the safe limit declared by the World Health Organization. Travel in and out of the capital comes to a standstill with a blanket smog situation. Delhi used to witness such smoggy skies in late December, but we're already witnessing it in mid-November. How far can we afford to ignore climate change? And to add on to that, the rising pollution levels, both food for thought. With camera person Arun Negi, this is Tanushka Datta in New Delhi for NDTV.
Well, what we can do now is actually bring you satellite imagery of what was taking place over large parts of North India today. And what you're going to see now is fairly shocking. So let's have those images up. Firstly, what was the impact? There was toxic air over North India, visibility plummeted. There were at least 10 flights diverted. And if you take a look at this satellite imagery, that actually comes, let's go back to the previous page. This is satellite imagery from the GeoComsat to a satellite. It's a South Korean satellite. And you can see this entire wave of smog all across the national capital region, all of Punjab, all of Haryana, spreading all the way across large parts of the Indo-Gangetic Plain. But let's go to the next image, which can actually give you another look. This comes from NASA Worldview of a large part of India, including a part of peninsular India as well. The smog, and you can see this white belt over here, right? It extends all the way to Bihar, but the impact goes further south. When we talk about the smog and the fog, it's not just limited to North India, it never has been. In fact, this stretches, it goes right down to the Arabian Sea. On days, it stretches into the Bay of Bengal as well. But what we've seen over here, this dense concentration of pollutant over here, with PM 2.5 counts at 400, think about that, in the national capital region, when the World Health Organization says anything at 50 and above is not good for you. Right? And we're at 400 plus in Delhi. Just think about it. And this happens so often now. So this is what we've seen today across the national capital region. Let's now look at what Delhi looked like today. Now, if you just think I'm pulling out a random Google map on the national capital with a white background, no, that's not it. In fact, this is a satellite image. And this satellite image from NASA Worldview of today shows the dense smog and cloud cover across all of Delhi, going all the way to parts of Uttarakhand and western Uttar Pradesh as well. This is absolutely thick and dense, and driving would have been nightmarish. Flights were diverted. Flights couldn't take off. There were 10 flights at least which were impacted. But this is dangerous because of what it's doing to us. But I just want to make a comparison between what it was this year and last year. Now, to be sure, last year, by and large, unless things get much worse in the next couple of days, last year was actually more polluted than this year so far. But just as a snapshot, one day in history comparing November 13, 2023 and November 13, 2024, this is what it was 1 year back, right? It was polluted. There was smog, right? And also over the national capital region. But compare that with this. These aren't clouds. This is smog. This is a fog which has been enhanced by pollutants, making it much worse than what it should be. Last year and this year, it is just horrific what we've seen today. But I'm joined now by Dr. Bhargav Krishna, Fellow at the Sustainable Futures Collaborative. I'm also joined by R.P. Singh of the BJP, Reena Gupta of the Aam Aadmi Party, Dr. Abhishek Kar of CEEW. Thank you all very much for being with us. Bhargav, let me come to you first. You know, we were talking earlier today, and you explained to me that what we are seeing is because of something called thermal inversion. What exactly is thermal inversion? How did it impact us today?
Thank you for having me, Vishnu. And that's right. I mean, what we're seeing is the impact of a meteorological phenomenon called an inversion, where a layer of cold air gets trapped under a layer of hot air, which prevents any kind of dispersion of pollution that is generated locally. Hot air generally rises, cold air tends to stay still. And as a result of which, whatever you're generating locally during that period of time has nowhere to go. And this only changes as the weather changes as well. And so you're stuck with the pollution for the period of time that you're in that period of inversion.
Basically, Bhargav, pollutants cannot be dispersed, right? That's the basic
Absolutely.
problem. And when we
Correct.
talk about pollutants, it's all pollutants. It's stubble burning, it's factories, it's cars, and it's everything, right?
Correct. And we in fact have a good breakdown of what the sources of pollution are even during this period of time, thanks to the early warning system as well as the decision support system that's used by the Commission on Air Quality Management, where we're seeing that there's not really any change in terms of what sources are contributing to air pollution in Delhi over the last few days, including today, with transport and crop residue burning being the primary contributors at around 15 to 20% each, and the rest contributing smaller percentages.
So there are atmospheric conditions which prevent the dispersal, right?
Absolutely.
Now,
but that's the question of what you can control and what you can't.
No, and the point is that that cannot be an excuse for our politicians to not do anything for us in terms of legislation. In fact,
Absolutely.
Reena, that's my question to you. It is crop burning, it is pollution on the ground in Delhi and elsewhere. It's not just limited to Delhi. It is factories, and this happens year after year. Thermal inversions happen year after year. This is a peculiar phenomena which does affect us. It's affected us for years. We know about this. It's not rocket science. What can political leaders like you and Mr. R.P. Singh think about to try and fix this beyond blaming one party or the other? Reena, to you first.
Vishnu, yeah. So Vishnu, just before coming on the program, I was looking at the central government website, and it gives a list of cities and their quality across cities. I didn't have to go; it's in alphabetical order: Ballavgarh, Baddi, Bhiwani, Bhiwadi, Bikaner, Bulandshahr, Dadri, Greater Noida, Hajipur, Jind, Noida, Patna, Panipat, Rohtak, Ujjain. All across North India, like you rightly said, the air quality is either very poor or severe. A 2019 WHO study said that 99% of districts in India have poor air quality. They don't have air quality up to WHO standards throughout the year. So 99% हमारे देश की जनता खराब हवा में सांस ले रही है, फेफड़े खराब हो रहे हैं. पिछले 10 साल में देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने, देश की पार्लियामेंट में, देश के एनवायरमेंट मिनिस्टर ने एयर क्वालिटी की कब बात करी? बात हो रही है कि बटेंगे तो कटेंगे. जब फेफड़े खराब हो रहे हैं तो सबके फेफड़े खराब हो रहे हैं ना. फेफड़े कोई धर्म तो नहीं देखते हैं. जब तक केंद्र सरकार ये डिसाइड नहीं करेगी कि हमें इस प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन ढूंढना है, हम साल दर साल टीवी प्रोग्राम्स करेंगे. मैं आपके ही कई टीवी प्रोग्राम्स पे आ चुकी हूं, और चाइना का बहुत बढ़िया एग्जाम्पल है. चाइना में प्रोविंशियल गवर्नमेंट्स हैं, जैसे हमारे यहाँ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स हैं. चाइना में किसी ने ये नहीं कहा कि एक्स प्रोविंस की वजह से एयर क्वालिटी खराब है या वाई प्रोविंस की वजह से खराब है. वहां की केंद्र सरकार ने सबको साथ में बिठाया सबको टारगेट्स दिए, मेजरेबल टाइम बाउंड टारगेट्स, बोला कि आपको ये 5 काम करने हैं, नहीं करेंगे आपको पेनलाइज करेंगे, आप करेंगे आपको इंसेंटिवाइज करेंगे. Why can't the central government do that? We have
Okay.
been writing letters. The Environment Minister of Delhi has been writing letters to the Central Union Environment Minister requesting, begging, please call a meeting of the environment ministers. पूरी सर्दी निकल जाएगी, winter निकल जाएगा.
No, okay,
एक
Reena, you
meeting
made
नहीं
your point.
होएगी.
Let's go beyond the meeting and look for solutions. I take all of your points. Mr. Singh, she's right when she says that look at the example of Beijing, which was much more polluted than Delhi. It's now not it's far less polluted now. You don't have this sort of problem anymore. The smog and pollution has been limited. Do we lack the political will, or does our boisterous democracy prevent us from actually taking strict action to prevent something like this from happening?
Vishnu, I was going through your channel's website. If I can show you, please. This is Mr. Kejriwal, 2018, saying it is Punjab blaming Punjab for the higher pollution. It's not me. It's Mr. Kejriwal, 2018. So they will never accept. I mean, I accept, ma'am. You can show whatever you want to, but you have not fulfilled
I'm not
your
showing. I'm
responsibility.
showing central government website and the data. All across North India, everything is in red.
Vishnu, thank you so much. I came to your show. Thank you so much. I never knew you allow your show to be heckled by others. Thank you. So kind.
No, but wait, hang on, Mr. Singh. Let's look for solutions over here.
No, but you should stop her from heckling first.
Mr. Singh,
Is
there
that
are
where you conduct your
lakhs
debates?
of people who are
Did I
watching
heckle
the
her?
show. They look upon leaders like you to provide solutions. This is a solution-oriented program. Why don't you, for starters, answer my question? Because I think it's a fair question. Why is it that China can do this in the case of Beijing and we as a country cannot?
I'm hopeful that you will stop her from heckling now, because otherwise I will not allow. I mean, I have a better voice.
No. She will not do anything of the sort. Please go ahead.
She did it. She did it right now, and you didn't stop her.
Mr. Singh, will you answer the question, please? Because it's a serious
No, I'll
question
answer the question. You
on a
permit me to
serious
answer.
issue.
If she have to be heckled
Mr.
by her,
Singh,
no.
answer the
If I have to
question,
heckle-
please. Please answer the
Instead of
question.
answering your question, then
Go
how
ahead,
do you expect
sir.
me to answer the question?
Right, go ahead.
Sir, basic is a state responsibility, it's a central responsibility. That's why we provided 2 corridors, western and eastern corridor. There's not a single truck which comes inside the city now. They passes by the eastern and western corridors provided by the central government. We are given 1,900 buses to Delhi government, which is EV buses. Out of the 7,200 buses which are on city, please go through data. We needed some 15,000 buses some 5 years back. We still have not more than 7,296 buses. We still are lacking more than half the buses, which is more. We need another 50%, another 7,500 plus buses to avoid the public, to avoid people to use their personal transport. Please ask your experts. They'll vouch this. The major reason for pollution in Delhi is the vehicular pollution, which is 41.5%. The rest is dust and industrial. Delhi need 252 mechanized sweeper. There are only 52 mechanized sweeper in Delhi today. Where is the mechanized sweeper? Central government provided 3,330 crore rupees to Punjab and other states put together. Ask them where have they used that money. Central government provided them 1.5 lakh machine to ensure that the stubble is taken out from the ground level. Where are those 1.5 lakh machines? They are not being used. They are in the junkyard even now. So problem is center can give you provisions. If Haryana can put penalty by saying that if you burn stubble, next time we won't pick up your crop. Why can't Punjab do the same?
Okay.
I mean, Haryana's put a law.
All right. Okay, let's look at the larger issue. You made lots of points.
I have not completed, Vishnu. I have not completed. Please give me another 5 seconds, please. So the issue is, when we will have 15,000 buses, if I have to go from my house to the nearest metro station, nearest bus stop, I don't have last mile connectivity. They promised us last mile connectivity some 10 years back. I mean, if you provide a last mile, if you talk about China, well, you provide for a last mile connectivity, you provide for the proper transportation system in cities so that people don't use private transport and they use public transport. And also, I give a challenge. Delhi can be red light free within the next 3 years if they want. If Delhi can dig metro underground while the city is still working, so the whole of the city the transportation, the road system can go underground and Delhi can go red light free.
Can I
if you reduce
respond?
All right, okay, both of you
41.5%
know, I want to go across to Dr. Abhishek Kar, Senior Program Lead at CEW.
But allow me 5 seconds to
No,
respond.
I don't. You see, this is the problem. When we look for solutions, it ends up being the Aam Aadmi Party versus the BJP versus the Aam Aadmi Party. People watching this program who are breathing this air, which includes all of us, looking for solutions, waking up on a day when there is 400 PM 2.5, are trying to understand what's happening. So I want to get some answers. Dr. Abhishek Kar, going beyond the political rhetoric and the tu me, in a finite period of time, what needs to be done to prevent a situation like what we are seeing today? Can it be done?
Thank you, Vishnu, for having me. Now, there are two aspects here. The first one is the way we track pollution is something extremely problematic. I'll give you an example. Say there is a city X which has not done anything in terms of reducing the emissions, but around this winter, say for example, they get a lot of rains, they get a lot of windy conditions, the inversion does not happen well, the AQI really, it goes down, so their air quality improves. If the air quality improves, everyone will come and say, wow, you have done a great job. But the actual fundamental challenge is that they've not done anything. It is a meteorological factor. And this is why I think the viewers need to understand and differentiate between emissions that is coming out of an administrative boundary, be it Delhi, be it a particular state, and the concentration level. And the concentration is linked to the AQI. So the emission, once the pollutants go up in the air, bunch of things can happen, meteorological factors, and that leads to the final concentration value. So unfortunately, under the National Clean Air Program and other government tracking mechanism, there is way too much focus on the concentration and AQI and not on tracking how well the emissions are getting reduced on a year-by-year basis. Until and unless the cities and the states are incentivized to focus on specific emission sources and reduce emissions and track the performance, not by concentration or AQI, which can go up and down based on meteorology, which is not under your control, but things which are under your control, which is emissions. That is, until that happens, we'll always have on good days, someone come and take a credit that we have done great work, and on bad days, come back and say weather is bad. The second point I want to make here is something that when you are thinking about emissions, say for example in Delhi, in the last financial year, every day we had almost 500 new cars getting registered and almost 1,000 new two-wheelers.
Yes.
We know that Delhi is unfortunately, Delhi is a landlocked region, and we know every year in the winter season, sometimes it will be horrible, then sometimes it will be bad, the meteorological condition. So until and unless we really focus on drastically reducing the emissions, which means taking decisions which are not easy to take for in a political economy, in a democratic setup. Until and unless that happens, until fundamentally the emissions that is coming out is drastically reduced, we will keep on having, as one of the earlier panelists said, every year on bad days, on bad meteorology days, we're going to come and say, oh my God, why is the concentration so high? The challenge is that we need to track emission reduction and aggressively invest in emission reduction if we want the people of Delhi to breathe clean air.
Okay, I just wanted to, for a final word, go across to Dr. Bhargav Krishna once again. Bhargav, why has this happened at this time of the year? Because the fog season in Delhi happens towards the end of December.
So, I mean, I don't think we really have a clear answer as to why the fog season has emerged abruptly. But I think this has also been a year of particularly weird climate. Let's say that we've had unseasonal rains throughout much of the year this year, in parts of the year where we don't really experience any rain at all, which will in all likelihood lead to a showcasing of an improvement in overall annual air quality. In the same way, we have fog events occurring in November, which is kind of unheard of. And so these are the vagaries of how weather is likely to be impacted by various factors related to climate change as well.